I'm going to tell you something that nobody in the fitness or rehab world wants to admit. Most setbacks in knee recovery aren't bad luck. They're impatience. And I know that's hard to hear because when you're in it, it doesn't feel like impatience. It feels like you're ready. It feels like you've done enough. It feels like one more week of waiting is going to cost you more than just going for it. And I've been there more times than I can count. And I'm living proof, even right now, that rushing the process doesn't just slow you down. It takes you all the way back to the start. So in this video, I want to talk about why it happens, what it actually costs you, and what to do instead. Because if you're recovering from a knee injury right now, ACL, meniscus, tendinopathy, whatever it is, this might be the most important thing you watch today. Let's start with why we do rush, because it's not stupidity, it's not recklessness, it's something much more human than that. When you get a knee injury, you lose something. It's not just the physical ability to do the things that you love to do, you lose your identity. If you're a footballer like I was, you're suddenly not a footballer. If you're someone who trains 3, 4, 5 times a week, you're suddenly someone who can't. And that loss is real. It hurts in a way that's hard to explain to people who haven't been through it. So the moment your knee starts feeling better, the moment you start going up the stairs without wincing, the moment you can start to walk to the shops without thinking about it, your brain goes, okay, we're back. Let's go. Let's do this. And I do that all the time. And that feeling is a lie. It's the devil in the back of your head. Because feeling better and being ready are two completely different things. Your knee feeling okay on a walk means nothing about how it's going to respond to a change of direction at full speed. It means nothing about the load it can handle under fatigue. It means nothing about whether the structures around it are actually strong enough to protect it. Especially when things get unpredictable. Feeling better is the beginning of the process, not the end of it. And the problem is, nobody tells you that clearly enough. You get cleared by your physio, you get told to ease back into it, but you're left to kind of figure out what even does ease back into it mean. And so you go by feel, and the feelings lie. And what happens when you do go too soon? Best case is that you get away with it. You play, nothing goes wrong, and you feel fine. And that's actually really dangerous because that outcome confirms the lie. It tells your brain, I was right, I was ready, I don't need to wait. And then you file that away. And the next time you'll go even sooner. Worst case, and this is the one that I really want you to sit with right now, is you don't just re-injure yourself. You go backwards. Not 6 weeks ago, but back to the very start. Back to the surgery conversation. Back to the walking boot, back to the crutches, and the 12 months of work is ahead of you again. And I've seen it happen more times than I want to, especially to myself. Guys who were weeks away from being back, genuinely weeks away, who went too soon, too quickly, and ended up further back than when they started. And the psychological damage of that is just as bad as the physical damage, because now you're not just injured. You are injured, and now you don't trust yourself. You don't trust your body. You don't trust the process, and that fear stays with you long after the knee is healed. That's the real cost of rushing. Not just the physical setback, but the mental one as well. And to be honest, I'll be personal with you. I'm going through my own thing right now, and I'm going to talk about this on Wednesday. I'm not going to go into all the details today, but what I will say is this. I know exactly how it happens. I know the moment. I know the full process, and even knowing everything I know, even having helped hundreds of people to go through this, I still made the mistake. That's how powerful the pull to rush is. It doesn't care about how much you know. It only cares about how much you want it. So how do you know if you're doing it? How do you know if you're rushing? Well, here are the signs. First, you're making decisions based on how you feel and not what you've done. If your training progression is guided by, my knee feels alright today, rather than an actual structured plan, you're rushing. Feeling good is not a program. The second one, you're comparing your timeline to someone else's. Your mate who had the same surgery was back in 6 months. Your favorite footballer was back in 8, so you think you should be too. But timelines are not transferable. Your injury, your surgery, your body, your personal training history, none of it is the same as anyone else's. And comparing your recovery to someone else's is one of the fastest ways to get hurt. The third one, you're skipping the boring stuff. The single leg work, the stability exercises, the stuff that doesn't feel like it's doing anything. If you're jumping straight into the movements that feel athletic, the running, the heavy squatting, the jumping, the cutting, without laying down the foundation underneath them, you are building on sand, and sand collapses. The fourth one, you're letting emotion drive the decision. You've been out long enough. You're sick of watching from the sideline. You're sick of dealing with this knee injury, and that is completely valid. But none of that is reasons to train. The moment emotion is making your training decisions, instead of your program, you are in dangerous territory. So what does the right approach actually look like? The first thing is accepting that there are no shortcuts, but there is a fast lane, and the fast fast lane is doing the right things consistently in the right order. It is not sexy. It doesn't make for an amazing highlight reel, but it is the fastest route from where you are to where you want to be. The second thing is understanding that the boring work is the work. The single leg ATG split squats, the reverse step ups, the slower controlled movements that actually build the foundation, build the joint. That's not the warm up. That is the real training. That is the actual thing that's going to get you where you want to go. The people who treat it that way are the ones who get back and stay back. And the third thing, and this is the one that most people skip, is load management. Your knee needs to be progressively exposed to more and more stress over time. Not just chucked in a deep end that you haven't dealt with, but also not coddled. Progressively loaded a little bit more each week, enough to build capacity, but not enough to overwhelm it. That balance is everything. And the fourth thing is this: trust the process, even when you can't feel it working. Because the adaptations that are happening in your tissue, in your muscle, in your nervous system, they are happening whether you can feel them or not. The work is working, and you just have to keep showing up. The guys I work with who get back fastest and stay back are not the ones who push the hardest. They're the ones who are the most consistent, the most patient, and the most willing to do the unsexy work without needing to see immediate results. And that's the difference. That's what I can't do sometimes. If you're recovering from a knee injury right now, I want you to hear this. The urgency you feel is real. The loss you feel is real. The desperation to get back is real, but none of that means you're ready. The process takes as long as it takes, and the only thing that makes it take longer is rushing it. So you need to do the work, trust the timeline, and get back and stay back. That's what this is about. If this hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're in this right now and you want help doing it the right way, you know where to find me.